And once again, I want to say greetings to each and every one of you. Aquaba. Welcome. Welcome to another round of the Conscious Roster Report here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, here on livinginblack.com. My name is Kedio Wado, aka the brother from the future. I am Ka. Weekday mornings, you and I get together live. We come at you from 9 a.m. Pacific time. That's 12 noon Eastern time, 5 p.m. GMT, and 8 p.m. East Africa time. We get together with you and we deal with culture, consciousness, historical perspectives. We deal with entertainment, economics, education, health, labor, law, politics, religion, family, conflict, future studies, all areas of human interactivity and development. Today's date is Tuesday, the 24th of December, the year 2024. In the Western calendar, this corresponds to the year 6264 in the Kemetic calendar, to which we have realigned our cultural clock. Welcome to the seventh millennium. You have found your family in a peaceful place on LIB Radio, LIBTV, and livinginblack.com. Today, we are talking about the awesome benefits of a 4-day water fast for healthy longevity. A 4-day water fast for healthy longevity. Today on LIB Radio, I am entering my 4th day of my winter solstice detoxification fast with my 4th day of the initiation, which is a water only fast. I feel fantastic. I feel fantastic. We will detail today the day to day benefits that I am experiencing with the intent to inspire more people to engage in this exercise in longevity and disease prevention. The body is a miraculous biological machine. Water fasting is nature's fastest healing process. So that is what is on the table for today. I think you're really going to be informed, enlightened, and hopefully excited about what I'm going to share, because what I'm going to share, I've proven it. This is my, spring, summer, autumn fast. This is my 4th detox fast of this calendar year. Although the winter solstice begins the new year, according to the ancient paradigm of the Nile Valley, of which I am Keper Ra, the ordained priest of the Sacred Order of the Sons of Ra. So this begins our brand new year. Today is, of course, the 4th day, 3rd day, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 4th day of the Koras Ma'at Kwanzaa season. And while I didn't have time and I didn't pull up that document, we did share that this week. And so I think today is the day of Ma'at. No, today is the day of Asar. And tomorrow will be the day of Heru, which is the day of rebirth. So today is the day of Asar. It is about the spirituality of order and leadership. So that's what we are about. Let's go forward. Let's talk about the benefits of a 4-day water fast. I chose to use Brave to help me out to put this in order. It did an okay job. I'm going to go through that real quick. Then I'm going to take you to my PowerPoint presentation, which I actually have up on my desk, and I'm going to share that with you in just a little bit. But that's going to give you a little deeper insight into what it is that we are all about here for today. And let me just take a moment here to welcome you to our listening audience today. I hope you are informed, inspired, enlightened, wherever you're tuning in from. We want to hear from you. We want to know you are in the house. So at any given time, make sure you hit the like button. Tell your friends to tell their friends to tune in today, because if someone is out there is dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, if you're dealing with excessive weight, if you're dealing with obesity, Abdominal obesity, meaning swollen belly, swollen midsection, that's called visceral adiposity. If you're dealing with cholesterol imbalance, high triglycerides, if you're dealing with kidney problems, chronic kidney problems, that's what's called progressive nephropathy. If you're dealing with a disrupted gut microbiome and your body is just all out of balance, if you've been on courses of antibiotics or other drugs and your microbiome's out of balance, if you're dealing with digestive problems, anywhere from uh, constipation to excessive flatulence, if you're dealing with cancer, if you're dealing with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a 4-day water fast is going to jerk your body off of that pathological course, that disease causing course, and put your body on a course to redemption, recovery, regeneration. But you have to stay on that course. That's the key. Some people will get on this course. Oh, I was a vegan for a minute. How'd it feel? I felt great. Why'd you stop? Excuse number 332. Once you get on a course of disease reversal, of actually getting younger, then you have the choice. The best choice would be to stay on that course. We've talked, that's our ongoing conversation on LIB Radio. There's so many details to that course. When I'm not on the air, when I'm not doing researching and writing and editing and all those other things, or preparing for a presentation, I like to watch other doctors. I like to watch other professionals, specialists, and watch their lectures. And you know something? It's gotten to the point where I'll tune into some of these world-class, world-renowned specialists, people who are making phenomenal amounts of money. Some of them, I say, they are spot on, right on. And I've just really realized, it dawned on me this week, TD, everything that you're seeing in these videos that you haven't seen before, you have already studied. You have confirmed. Further, I will say there are some people out here purporting to be experts. They're really influencers. They're social media influencers. I'm not going to name any names, but some of them are prominent and they're making a lot of money. They're prominent, they're making a lot of money, and they're giving false, misleading, and or incomplete information. Rather than name their names, I would prefer to teach you to recognize the difference between okay, good, better, and the best biological health advice that you could possibly encounter. I do see you in the house, beloved sister, Africa One, Aquaba. She says, Hetep, Brother Keedy, and global LIB family in the background. Great to have you with us in the foreground, beloved. You are undeniably a precious contributor to who we are, to what we do, and to the integrity of our movement. This is a movement of Jah people. Now, I just pulled together some notes from Brave here. Day 1 of our 4-day water fast. Increased autophagy, which is the getting rid of old senescent non-functioning cells. A natural process where the body recycles and removes damaged cells and proteins, which can lead to improved cellular health and reduced inflammation. Reduced inflammation and oxidative stress are factors linking to aging and chronic diseases. Potential increase on day 1 of human growth hormone, HGH, production, which stimulates cell growth and regeneration, preserves muscle mass, and burns fat for energy. All of that taking place on the first 24 hours, actually the second 12 hours of your first day of detox fasting. Day 2 and day 3. This is according to Brave. Now I'm going to show you a PowerPoint slideshow that's a little more distinct than what this quick AI chat search. But this quick AI chat search results were day 2 and 3. Continued autophagy and cellular cleaning, potentially leading to metabolic function and reduced risk of chronic diseases. They're not incorrect. It's just that there's a lot more diseases or a lot more details in these different days. Day 2, weight loss as the body adapts to using fat as a primary engine energy source. Day 3, improved insulin sensitivity and reduced blood sugar levels, potentially reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes and its complications. Not just reducing the risk, this turns off the risk. The ongoing risk is turned off at this point. Now, if we stay in this day 2 and day 3, we can get the reversal beginning to happen as the pancreas has had 2-3 days of complete rest. The stem cell activity has increased, and so the beta cells inside the pancreas, which manufacture insulin, are now starting to replace themselves. They're going to need a week or maybe as much as 3 weeks for the beta cells in the pancreas to completely reactivate. You don't have to stay on a water fast for 3 weeks to do that, but you can firmly initiate the process with a water fast. This is day 3. Day 4, which I have just completed day 3. They did talk about weight loss at the beginning of this process. Day 1, my weight was 151.1. Day 2, my weight was 150.8. Day 3, my weight was 148.6, I think. Here, I have it written down. My weight on day 3 of the detox fast, 151.1 was the day 1. Day 2 was 148.4. I thought it was 150. No, 148.4 was day 2. Day 3, my weight was did I write down my weight? Day 3, my weight was 146.5. And this morning, my weight 140. No, it wasn't. Was it 146.5? Yeah. And then my weight today was 144.6. I didn't write it down correct. 144.6. So it goes from 151 to 148 to 146 to 144. So that is a total of, from 151 to 144.8, a total of 7.3 pounds in just the first 3 days. Not bad, not bad, not bad at all. So continuing, day 4, further reduction in inflammation and oxidative stress, potentially leading to improved cardiovascular function and reduced risk of chronic disease. Continued weight loss and fat burning, potentially leading to improved body composition and reduced risk of metabolic disorders. Yes, yes, yes. Now, that was the short version of this. I did the same analysis a second time. And additionally, this is part of the same one. Additionally, some studies suggest that a 4-day water fast may, 1, trigger biological processes that slow down aging and improve longevity. 2, modulate gene expression and protein activity involved in inflammation and oxidative defense. 3, reduce blood pressure and cholesterol levels, potentially benefiting cardiovascular health. 4, and last point, it is essential to note, and this is very important, it is essential to note that water fasting is not suitable for everyone. It is suitable for everyone, but not all types of fast, and should be done with caution and supervision, especially for individuals with certain health conditions, taking medications, or you have never experienced an extended water fast before. You must stay hydrated, stay hydrated, stay hydrated. Hey, I will drink to that by drinking plenty of water, purified water, during the fast, and to break the fast gradually and slowly, gradually break the fast with nutrient-rich foods to avoid adverse effects. Yeah, that's true. I remember one time I was getting ready to travel to the UK and I was so excited about the trip, but it also coincided with my spring detox fast. So by the time I got there, I had just completed 10 days of fasting, including some water fasting. It might have been 10 days of water fasting. In those days, I was kind of intense. But I got over there and I was so eager to break the fast and I wanted some Ethiopian food that a group of us, they welcomed me over there and we went out to Ethiopian food. And believe it or not, my body did not leave the restaurant with the food in the belly. It was delicious food, but unfortunately, it went in my stomach, and stomach went rumble, 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 rumble. I need to excuse myself from the table, and rough, 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 rough. Yeah, that happened. Mm, I'll drink to that. So I asked the same question of Copilot, Chat GTP, and it did okay. It didn't do very well. Detailed the benefits of a 4-day water fast on days 1, 2, 3, and 4. Day one, detoxification. Your body begins to eliminate toxins as it switches from using glucose to ketones for energy. That's an important note. Day one, increased mental clarity. Some people report feeling more focused and clear-headed as the fast progresses. Day one, reduced inflammation, initial reduction in inflammation as the body starts to heal. Day two, and that's a 24-hour water fast. We're going to have more details on that when I get into the PowerPoint. Day two, autophagy, the process of autophagy, where the body cleans out damaged cells and regenerates new ones, begins to ramp up. Day two, improved digestion. The digestion system gets a break, allowing it to reset and potentially improve overall digestive health. And also, the endothelial lining of the cells regenerates very, very rapidly during the 4-day water fast. By day four, the lining of my stomach is all new. Stem cells have replaced all of the epithelial lining of the stomach between 3 and 5 days. But because I'm fasting, taking that load off the situation, the stem cell proliferation is much more active now. So I got a brand new digestive system. I can't wait to test it out. Day three. Oh, this is still day two. Energy levels. Some individuals may experience a dip in energy as the body adjusts to fasting. Day three, ketosis. The body is now fully in ketosis, burning fat for fuel, which will lead to increased energy levels and mental clarity. Day three, stem cell activation. There is evidence suggesting that extended fasting promotes stem cell regeneration and activation. Day three, mental breakthroughs. Most people report significant mental clarity and emotional insights during this period. That's day three. And from Copilot, day four, deep detoxification. Continued detoxification processes help to further cleanse the body of toxins. Cellular repair. The body continues to repair and regenerate cells, potentially improving overall health. Point, spiritual and emotional benefits. Some individuals experience a sense of spiritual awakening or emotional healing. It is important to note that water fasting should be done with caution and ideally under supervision, especially for extended periods. Everyone's experience can be different, and it's essential to listen to your body and consult with a professional before starting a fast. I do agree that these extended water fasts, unless you have a lot of experience doing it, you should be supervising and coaching with someone who can answer your questions, and you'll know what these feelings, what these sensations mean. And also, it's nice that you're going to want to brag and boast about how well you feel. It's pretty amazing. So, last point, a 4-day water fast involves abstaining from all food and caloric beverages, consuming only water for the duration. While fasting can have various effects on the body, it's important to note that individual experiences may vary, and anyone considering a prolonged fast should consult with a professional, a healthcare professional, especially if you have underlying health conditions, if you are on any medications. And so that is very important. What I'm going to do right now, if you don't mind, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to go into and share this from my PowerPoint. So what I got to do is pull the StreamYard over here on this laptop computer, and then I'm going to present, bear with me, present my PowerPoint. This is Shift F5, so it comes up on the very page that I want it to, Shift F5. And then I got to shrink this. Bear with me, this is well worth it. And I'm going to share screen. Now, one more link, share screen, and it should allow me to see my PowerPoint window, which is right here. Share it, push it up on the desktop, and now you are looking at my desktop, and we're going to talk about this presentation. This is the cutting edge of regenerative medicine. Yes, it is. It is essential to note that many of these findings are based on animal studies and may not directly translate to humans. Additionally, prolonged fasting or caloric restriction may have different effects on overall health. Continuing, while these potential benefits are promising, it's essential to always approach fasting with well-informed caution. Further research is needed to fully understand the benefits and potential risks of water fasting on stem cells in humans. And this, again, this presentation is really about stem cells. You know, I am writing the book right now, The Stem Cell Revolution. And I'm this is the fountain of youth. As much as I've talked about the fountain of youth over the years, this is the greatest clarification on whole body regeneration that I've ever researched. And damn it, this is the best research on health I think I've ever done. And this book will be out. I just released the book, Living Superfood Solutions. And this book on stem cell regeneration will be out in early February. I am finishing up a second book right now. Very excited to have 2 books come out during this calendar year. Continuing, if needed, consult a healthcare professional before making significant changes to your diet or fasting regimen. These are good, important cautionary notes to keep in mind. This is the cutting edge of regenerative medicine, regenerative research. The benefits of a 24-hour water fast on stem cells. A 24-hour water fast can have several benefits for stem cells. Research has shown that fasting can boost the regenerative capacity of stem cells, particularly in the intestines. During fasting, stem cells switch from using glucose to fatty acids as an energy source, which enhances their regenerative abilities. This metabolic switch can help improve tissue repair and regeneration, making it beneficial for both young and aged individuals. Additionally, fasting can reduce inflammation and oxidative stress, creating a more favorable environment for stem cell function. What happens to your body during a 24-hour fast? Point 1, autophagy. Fasting activates autophagy, a cellular recycling process. 2, boosts stem cell regeneration, enhances the regeneration of hematopoietic stem cells. These are their blood stem cells. Point, hormesis. The mild stress induced by fasting results in a beneficial response in stem cells, enhancing resiliency and adaptability. Enhanced immune function. Fasting promotes the regeneration of immune cells. Feeding after fasting triggers transient autophagy. Hormonal changes. Fasting influences various hormones in the body, increasing levels of norepinephrine, a neurotransmitter, and HGH, human growth hormone. Improved metabolic health. This leads to improved insulin sensitivity and metabolic health, indirectly benefiting stem cell function. Longevity benefits. Studies suggest that fasting has anti-aging effects linked to the vitality of stem cells, reducing the risk of age-related diseases. Next point, metabolic benefits. 24-hour fast induces a metabolic shift, switching from glucose-based metabolism to fatty acid-based metabolism. That's called ketosis. This leads to better intestinal stem cell function and overall health outcomes, reduced inflammation. It has been associated with reduced levels of inflammation throughout the body, and rejuvenation, one of our favorite words. A 24-hour fasting period followed by refeeding rejuvenates old blood-forming stem cells in mice studies, restoring their ability to regenerate and function similarly to young stem cells. Whew, this is awesome. That's a 24-hour fast. There's different types of fasting we've gone through. There is the water fasting, and then there's dry fasting. Here talks about dry fast. The impact of dry fasting on cell regeneration. Point, or dry fasting, which involves abstaining from both food and water, has been shown to have a profound impact on stem cell regeneration. Compared to water fasting, dry fasting can stimulate 3 to 5 times more stem cell production, according to the research of Russian professor Romanov. This increased activity may be attributed to the body's natural response to stressors, what they called what was it called a page or two earlier? Hormesis. Attributed to the body's natural response to stressors, triggering a metabolic shift from glucose to fatty acid utilization. As a result, stem cells become more active and regenerative, potentially leading to improved tissue repair and overall cellular health. Dry fasting offers a promising approach for stimulating stem cell rejuvenation, warranting further exploration. Dry fasting initiates a cascade of powerful metabolic processes within the body, leading to significant health benefits, including stem cell regeneration. Unlike water fasting, dry fasting is 5 to 10 times more effective. It is said that one day of dry fasting delivers the same benefits as 3 days of water fasting. This includes the rejuvenation of stem cells after just a few days. And I would say this much as well. In studying dry fasting, I pulled at least a dozen reports and newspaper accounts about this. And there were some very strong cautionary notes about dry fasting, abstaining from food and water for 24 hours. So do be aware of the cautionary notes that are out there. Some medical professionals say absolutely dry fasting is the worst thing in the world. But then again, you have to look at the example of Ramadan, when Islamic people dry fast completely for 12 hours a day from sunup to sunrise. And so Be alert, be alert, be alert. It has one study that I said, and I didn't put that in the PowerPoint, that a group of volunteers, I think they were college students, engaged in dry fasting 12 hours a day for 30 days. And all of them had very positive benefits from that exercise. But I didn't include that in the PowerPoint. Maybe I'll upgrade it and put that in it. The awesome benefits of a 3-day water fast. Most people who are serious about achieving optimized natural health have become aware of the powerful benefits of periodic detoxification fasting. Today, we revisit the awesome benefits of water fasting by citing specific changes that happen within the body during a 3-day water fast. While the first day may be a bit uncomfortable, the great benefits that kick in during the second and third days are well worth the effort to express this mind over matter exercise of willpower. I encourage everyone who hears this message to learn more about these wonderful life enhancing benefits. Learn more. Nothing wrong with learning, studying, gathering, acquiring information. Benefits of a 72-hour, 3-day water fast. Point 1. Water fasting is the quickest known means of whole body healing. 2. It cleans the brain and resets energy. 3. It improves immune function, repairs damaged cells, removes dysfunctional cells and pathogens. That's autophagy. 4. Reduces inflammation and neuroinflammation. 5. Increases autophagy, breaks down cells and pathogens. And those pathogens include parasites and unfriendly bacteria. Oh, yes, it do. Number 6, engages stem cell activation, proliferation, and differentiation. Point 7, decreases autoimmune disease. Point 8, benefits the gut microbiome. Point 9, increases DNA repair processes. Caution for those who are insulin-dependent diabetics, women menstruating, hypoglycemic, or if you are on prescription drugs, consult a physician as you implement water fasting. If you are on prescription drugs, if you are insulin-dependent, medication-dependent diabetic, you must consult not just a coach, you must consult your prescribing physician. Yes, you do. You've gotten yourself into so much trouble that you've relied upon them and their drugs. You cannot and will not be best to go forward without letting them know that you are doing something radically different. Trust me, that if you don't caution them and you have an severe adverse reaction, then you're in trouble. And as a coach, I would be remiss to not tell you, if you're on those drugs, if you're on those medications, you must consult with that person before going forward with something that we know will benefit you. That cautionary note has been applied. Let's keep going. Water fast, day 1. Now, again, we normally water fast overnight. So this begins the analysis with hours 8 through 12. This is where you're missing meals. Point 1, decrease of glucose used for cellular energy, and glycogen, which is a reserve or a stored form of glucose in the liver and muscles. Point 2, increases glucagon, I think it's glucagon, pancreatic regulation of glucose and ketones, and increases human growth hormone, which stimulates cell growth and cell repair. And it increases cortisol, which is an adrenal gland stress response. Yes, you start stressing. And adrenaline, the body's fight or flight hormone. It decreases insulin, which regulates glucose uptake, glycogen, and protein synthesis, and regulates fat storage. It decreases insulin because the insulin doesn't have nothing to do. 4, increases ketones from fat, turning fat cells into energy. And 5, begins weight loss by consuming adipose tissue, which is fat cells. 6 is the first half of the first day, increases logical hunger triggers in the brain to seek food. Let's go to the second half of the first day. Water fast day 1, 18 to 24 hours. Depletion of glucose or glycogen, the energy reserve stored in the liver and muscle tissues. Point 2, glucose neogenesis. Energy now is created in the liver as ketones. 3, increase of autophagy, self-eating, removing debris, recycling cellular parts, and maintaining optimal cell function. Point, decrease autoimmunity when the immune system mistakenly attacks the body's own tissue. You're starting to shut down after just the first day. Decreases neuroinflammation, which is brain inflammation, creates what's called brain hybrid, which is neuroplasticity, the ability of the brain to rewire itself. Next point, increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF, which improves memory and learning, and human growth hormone for cell rejuvenation. And day 1, the last part of the day, start to see ketones showing up in the blood. Blood analysis shows evidence of ketosis, burning fat cells for energy production. Let's go forward to water fast day 2. A steady increase in brain-derived neurotrophic factor and human growth hormone, increase of autophagy and replacement of senescent or old wasted cells, tau, amyloid, Lewy body dementia, alpha-synuclein, primed glial cells, all of these related to post-traumatic stress disorder, concussions, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's. All of these now start to be removed from the body. Mitophagy, which means inefficient mitochondrial functioning, is correcting itself. Insulin resistance decreases as there is no adiposity to correct. A decrease of fatty liver as fat cells convert to ketones. 90 to 95% of our energy now comes from ketones, converted fat cells instead of glucose. And again, where is the primary source of accessing these fat cells? The first place is going to be the liver. That's where the conversion takes place. And many, many people, especially those out here with swollen bellies, are suffering from either non-alcoholic fatty liver disease or might be suffering from alcoholic fatty liver disease. In any case, don't drink any alcohol at all, obviously, during a water-only fast, and watch your liver do the best it can to try and make up for all of that toxic poison that you have been imbibing for so long. Hunger pains decrease during day 2. The brain no longer facilitates the distraction of hunger pangs. Day 2, our neurological system is correcting itself. The first, amyloidosis, is a tau protein that aggregates abnormally and forms neurofibrillary tangles in neurodegenerative diseases, disrupting the structure and function of neurons and leading to neuronal health. This can be dementia, Alzheimer's, Lou Gehrig's disease, multiple sclerosis, a whole bunch of these autoimmune disorders, as well as Lewy body disorders, where our brain gets clogged up with these amyloid plaques. Amyloidosis, I guess I went right there, is a rare disease where a protein called amyloid accumulates in organs, impairing their function. This abnormal protein produced in the bone marrow can affect various organs, including the heart, kidneys, liver, spleen, nervous system, and digestive tract. This is going on all the time, people, especially in middle age and latter starts of age, especially with someone with a very high stress, highly toxic lifestyle. It's going on all the time. Lewy body dementia, LBD, is a common type of dementia It happens when clumps of proteins called Lewy bodies build up in your brain. They damage parts of your brain that affect cognition, behavior, movement, and sleep. Alpha-synuclein is a protein that is encoded by the SNCA gene. It is a neural protein abundant in the brain that regulates synaptic vesicle trafficking and subsequent transmitter release. So alpha-synuclein is part of our brain's internal communication process, part of what's called extracellular vesicles. Primed glial cells refer to glial cells such as astrocytes and microglia that exhibit an altered state, making them more responsive to inflammatory signals or pathological stimuli. This will definitely impact these dementia, Alzheimer's related diseases and disorders. All of these things are being corrected during the day 2 and day 3 of our detox fast. These are all related to post-traumatic stress disorder syndrome, concussion, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and other neurodegenerative diseases. Water fast day 3, an ongoing increase of autophagy. Your body continues to replace senescent cells, bringing forward rejuvenated and revitalized organ tissues. Stem cell proliferation maximizes. Reversal of chronic diseases, metabolic disorders, diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, cancer, chronic inflammatory diseases, autoimmune disorders, and more. All of these are now reversing on day 3 of your water fast. Increased immune function, anti-inflammatory benefits, greater resistance to acute infections, improved lymphatic function, improvement of gastrointestinal function, and improved gut flora. Day 3 continues increased function of stem cell differentiation and rehabilitation of DNA functionality in newly formed cellular systems. And that, at that point, we're talking about correcting the chromosome strand ends. What are they called? Begins with a T. I'll think of it when I stop trying to think of it. But these chromosome strand ends fray when the cells are replacing themselves and make corrupted replications. But in this particular case, it's reversed itself, and so that the new cells are stronger than the cells before them. And why I can't think of that word, chromosome strand ends, it's just not absent in my brain right now. Metabolic flexibility, improving your body's ability to switch easily between glucose and ketones, helping maintain ideal weight in the long run. The philosophy of fasting calls upon us to know ourselves, to master ourselves, and to discipline ourselves, the better to free ourselves. To fast is to identify our dependencies and free ourselves from them. That quote from Tariq Ramadan, very important. Fasting, water fast day 4. This is the day that I am in, and I just added this panel to this discussion this morning. Fasting, water fasting day 4. Further reduction in inflammation and oxidative stress, leading to improved cardiovascular health and reduced risk of chronic diseases. Point 2, continued weight loss and fat burning, generally leading to improved body composition and reduced risk of metabolic disorders. Point 3, anti-aging, triggers biological processes that slow down aging and improve longevity. Next point, DNA methylation, modulate gene expression and protein activity involved in inflammation and antioxidant defense. Metabolic homeostasis, reduce or even normalize blood pressure and cholesterol levels, yielding benefits to cardiovascular disease. It is essential to note that water fasting is not suitable for everyone and should be done with caution and professional supervision, especially for individuals with certain health conditions or taking medications. It is also important to stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water during the fast and to break the fast slowly and gradually with nutrient-rich foods to avoid adverse effects. So that talks about day 4 of the water fast, which I am on right now. I'm doing a 100 plus hour water fast. So this evening by 9 p.m., we'll have completed 96 hours. Then going to 8 a.m. of the next morning, which is I'm normally in an intermittent fast, and I won't be consuming anything between 9 p.m. and 8 a.m. That will put me at 96 plus 11. So that puts me at 107 hours of the detox fast as of tomorrow when I get set up to do tomorrow's broadcast. And also, if you are a listener to the Carl Nelson Show on WOL-FM, WOL-DC News, which you can listen to the Carl Nelson Show on WOL streaming live at WOL-DC News. Tomorrow, Christmas Day, I will be Carl's guest, and we're going to be talking about my upcoming books, the 3 new books that I have coming out, 2 of which are one I have here, I've just completed, Living Superfood Solutions, and we're also going to be talking about disaster preparedness for World Wars 5 and 6. We're going to cover those 2 books, which are both coming out this December. One of them out now, the other one getting ready to send to the printer any day now, any day. So different modifications, fasting modifications, aids and or alternatives. Different ways you can approach this include distilled water. Distilled water is free from minerals, chemicals, and contaminants that may be present in tap or bottled water. This is beneficial during fasting when the body is detoxifying. I don't recommend distilled water all the time because it has a tendency to leach minerals from the body, and we don't want that at all. Minerals, sea salt, sparkling mineral water. Minerals, essential minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium are crucial for various body functions, including nerve transmission and muscle function. Ensure adequate mineral intake during fasting can help prevent cramping and irregular heart rhythm. Sea salt. Sea salt can help maintain electrolyte balance, especially if you're not consuming food. It can help prevent symptoms like headaches, fatigue, and muscle cramps that might occur, particularly in longer fasts. And yes, that is one of the things. Once you get beyond 5 days of water fasting, you can start to see these muscle cramps, irregular heartbeats, and other types of things, including fatigue. Yes, that is true. Sparkling mineral water. This can be a refreshing way to stay hydrated. It often contains minerals like magnesium and calcium, and the carbonation may help some people feel fuller, which can actually be beneficial during fasting. And then there is veggie soup. Now, some people promote bone broth. While bone broth will have some modicum of nutrients in it that your body needs, I don't mess around with the bones of animals because the animals are raised toxic. And also, animal proteins in the human body are unnatural. These unnatural proteins from animals in the human body trigger digestive leukocytosis, as well as trigger some modicum of inflammation because of the presence of a molecule called NEU5GC. It is incompatible with human digestion. Other meat eaters can tolerate NEU5GC, but not humans, and it significantly increases the rate of inflammation. So bone broth, in my mind, is a no-go, but there are many, especially the paleo advocates, that do advocate for bone broth for health. Do your research, do your study, and decide what toxins or benefits that you need in your body. Veggie soup, though, is better than bone broth. Veggie soup, veggie broth can provide essential vitamins and minerals, especially if made with various vegetables and herbs. As well, it is typically low in calories. Yes, 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 very true. So therefore, that takes us to the end of this presentation of this PowerPoint. And then it went on into other aspects. The whole PowerPoint is about stem cell rejuvenation and activation. And the PowerPoint is just getting longer and longer as the 56-day protocol goes on. I'm getting so much more research. And at this particular point, the PowerPoint is 44 pages long. That's a good size PowerPoint, everybody. I hope you don't mind. I hope you are excited about who we are, what we do, and where we are going with what it is. What it is. What it is. Today is, again, the fourth day, 21, 2, 3, 4, the fourth day of the winter solstice detoxification fast. And I'm having a great time this morning. And I encourage everybody doing the fast together, doing our programs together, take notes every day and keep a journal. So today I woke up. I have been extending my core reps. Every 2 days, I add 5. So as of this morning, my core reps were 160 reps. I weighed in at 144.8, which is 2 points lower than my weight at age 25. And that was 44 years ago. So I weigh today slightly lower than what I weighed at age 25. My body mass index is perfect, perfect, perfect. I can give you the exact number here real quickly. I encourage people to know your body mass index. Yesterday, it was 22.0. Today, it is 144.8. Today, my body mass index, 21.7. So we're going in the right direction. And I am enjoying being this healthy. I'm about to, when I finish the water only fast, actually, I'm going to go right from there to colon cleansing, but I will be eating prunes, figs, cranberries, along with the colon cleansing prune juice. I'm also going to be taking some supplements at that particular point. I will add my supplements to my detox, Cascara Sagrada, Parasite Cleanse, and there'll be some others that I keep adding this during the course of the month. But I'm going to be taking a photograph of my midsection, and it is pretty impressive. I will say it is pretty impressive, but I have to set up for the photograph. I have to put together a green screen, which I actually have my green screen behind me right now, but I have to set it up lengthwise so I can take a full body shot. Plus, I will have to prepare myself for the photograph. I want the photograph to be like awesome, awesome, awesome. So what that means, I will do the photograph at the end of about a 10, maybe 20-minute core workout. So everything is very well defined. And then just before I take the photograph, I use olive oil to shiny up my body like muscle builders, like bodybuilders do. I use olive oil to shiny up my body so that it looks pretty good. Don't nobody want to see no ashy person showing off their core muscles, even though you would say, yeah, it's pretty impressive, but he looks ashy. I'm having a good time. I hope you're enjoying today's conversation as well. We are talking today about stem cell. I know we're talking about 4-day water fast. For Africa One, I see you in the house. I fast on water and lemon juice, including the rind. Are there any further benefits using lemons? Absolutely, beyond a shadow of doubt. Yes, indeed. The ascorbic acid in lemon is an incredible source for vitamin C. Vitamin C activates cellular regeneration processes and supports it. The B vitamins also do that as well. Help for the formation of collagen, very important. Collagen is the most abundant protein in the body. So yeah, lemon and including the rind. Include the rind, especially since you're detoxing. Lemon rind is one of those sources that we use for safe, healthy, holistic cleansing agents for cleaning our kitchen counters and cleaning our house. So therefore, the purpose here is cleansing. And I think that using the rind is probably pretty doggone smart. She writes further, how does the body eliminate toxins on a dry fast? The main way the body eliminates toxins is through flushing. So in the case of a dry fast, of course, you're going to urinate all of the excess fluid that's in your body. One of the things with a dry fast is if you have been suffering from water retention, which many adults over the age of 50 are having water retention, the dry fast will help you to overcome that acute water retention. So therefore, your kidneys will be flushing the blood, and if there is water that's releasing from your cells because your body detects the stress from the fast, your body will release the water from these places where it's been retained, and that will flush out through the kidneys. So although one is having a dry fast, there will be some urine presented. Based upon my own experience, and I did dry fasting just the first day of this detox fast, this 4-day water fast. The first day I went dry, and that worked out pretty well, even though my lips blistered a little bit. And right now, because my fat is low, my lips are not just that they're blistering, it's just that they're shedding skin very rapidly. So sometimes in the middle of a sentence, I'll start chewing on my lip, chewing off that excess skin. And my lips are shedding skin because they're replacing skin. Our skin surface replaces itself as one of the fastest growing parts of our body is shedding our skin. I heard a research on that yesterday, but I didn't take notes as I was watching this doctor's presentation. I think it might have been Dr. Josh Axe. It might have been Dr. Eric Berg or Dr. Ming Lee. One of those three of my favorites. And I was listening to them, and I'm the only vegan of those four, I think. Yeah, Berg is not a vegan. He's Weston Price. Ming Lee, I heard him talking about eating fish, so that's not vegan. And Dr. Josh Axe, I heard him advocating. So these guys are really good scientists, really good researchers. I got to give them credit for it, but they are not vegan. And I am strictly vegan. I'm not the only one who's strictly vegan. Dr. Gabriel Cousens, strictly vegan. Dr. Gary Null, strictly vegan. So, and I've heard Gary Null talk about consuming fish oil, krill oil, and these other things which are not strictly vegan. So it's not that we're exclusive of the science. It's just that we choose to operate our own body in this period, in this mechanism, because vegan eliminates potential sources of parasites, bacteria, enterotoxins, viruses, what are called viruses. So I choose to not put those things in my body. Plus, another source of endocrine disrupting chemicals, antibiotics, growth hormones, artificial growth hormones like bovine growth hormone, glyphosate in the animal feed. So I don't mess around with animals. So how does the body eliminate toxins? I would say most likely eliminate them through thick, stinky pee. But you're not going to stay on a dry detox for more than 24 hours. Do not think about it. I'm not thinking about it. So if you're going to do a dry fast, limit it to no more than 24 hours because of just that. The fact that, well, your kidneys are gathering up all these toxins, but don't have enough liquid mass to push them out. So where are they going to go? Yeah, that's very detrimental to the kidneys. She asked so much for background listening. What is fasting alternatives? What fasting alternatives are there for people who are low or underweight? Good question. If you're low weight, your body mass index indicates that you are on the very low end of the green zone, which is the normal zone, or that you have dipped into the yellow zone, which is underweight. Detox fasting would be consisting mainly of, I would say, intermittent fasting, that you're going long periods of the day without eating anything at all, only drinking water. And also, if you are underweight, I recommend putting on the weight, balancing your weight till you get right in the middle of the green zone. How does one put on weight? You're going to consume high fat foods such as avocado, such as mixed nuts, and especially nuts like walnuts, cashews, almonds, filberts, macadamia nuts, these high fatty nuts. Peanuts are good too, but peanuts are okay. Peanuts are just kind of filling in time. But peanuts have vitamin B6 in them, which is very important to our immune system function. But to consume nuts, to consume sea vegetables, not so much to gain weight, but to supply the full spectrum of nutrients. Sea vegetables are just like superfoods. So sea vegetables, and also if you want to gain weight, I recommend a daily smoothie. I have a smoothie in my book, Living Superfood Recipes, Volume 1. That smoothie is called Raw Cat Fuel. Raw Cat Fuel will sustain weight, but if you need to gain weight, I recommend the Raw Cat Fuel along with at least 20 minutes of weight-related exercise. We're talking about you can use gravity, push-ups, sit-ups. You can use all kind of gravity exercises. You can use bar weights or whatever. But as long as you putting on that weight-related exercise while consuming higher amounts of full-spectrum proteins, and you might even want to add proteins like taurine, creatine. Add just those two. The others you're going to get in your food. If you add taurine and creatine to your smoothie, as well as add a vegetable-based protein, such as hemp protein. There's soy protein. I'm not a big fan of soy protein. It's just too much. Hemp protein is the main one. But if you add a good quality vegetable protein to your smoothie, that's going to give you the basis for creating cellular materials that will become muscle mass. You don't want to put on fat. If you have no body fat, zero body fat, you must have fat. But that fat's going to come on when your body normalizes homeostasis. So I hope that answers your question. That's a pretty good question, a tough question. I like questions like that. So much for the background. Great to have you in the foreground. And I hope the other people out there listening do hit the like button on your viewer, wherever you are. And I'm looking to see, is anybody talking to me, talking to us here on YouNow? I have you in the house. I hope you love it. Hope you love this conversation I had with my sister. I see you in the house. Adriano Silva Aquaba, welcome to the program. Purador is in the house as well. Great to have you both with us here on LIB Radio, LIB TV, and livinginblack.com. Here we are on YouNow.com streaming. We're on the Rumble streaming, and we're doing pretty good. I've gotten through quite a bit of research. There's a few more articles that I did pull up for today. Let me see if I can put those on the table. Bear with me. This is from mirrorfriendly.com. I'll post up the link in case of those of you who want to study along with us. I'll push that link up here on the Rumble, and I'm going to push it up on my Facebook page as well. For those of you following along, listening along, or love having you in the house. Love to hear a word from you. Just let me know that you are in the house today and that you do appreciate what we do. Mirror Friendly, this article is entitled 4-Day Water Only Fast, Key Benefits and My Experience. This is written by Andrew, I don't have the last name here, April 12th, 2003. And here, one more link to push up here. So those of you following along can have access to the research that we're using. 4-Day Water Only Fast, Key Benefits and My Experience. My idea of healthy living revolves around looking and feeling my best and keeping it that way for as long as possible. Indeed, I believe longevity is a key indicator in gauging whether your current lifestyle can be considered a healthy one. This is where my 4-day water only fast, which I successfully completed last Friday, becomes relevant. This longer kind of fasting has started gaining more ground recently as a tool one can leverage in improving health span rather than just age span. In fact, I was sold after watching one episode on the Limitless series where Chris Hemsworth took on the same fast under the guidance of longevity expert MD Peter Attia. The key benefits of a 3 to 4 day water fast. The following are currently known key benefits of a water only fast, which needs to be done for at least 3 days. Point 1, improves immune function. 2, autophagy, repairs damaged cells and removes dysfunctional cells, also known as zombie cells, that can lead to disease. Point 3, reduces both neuro and musculoskeletal inflammation. Point 4, decreases autoimmune disease. Point 5, benefits the gut flora. And point 6, increases DNA repair. Telomeres, that's the word I was thinking of. Telomeres, Telomeres, the chromosome strand ends that begin to fray as we age, therefore interfering with the proper replication of cells throughout the body. Well, with this stem cell regeneration, the telomeres get repaired, thereby generating a rejuvenation process that we can now call the fountain of youth, telomeres. So here we are, Apart from the priceless value behind these benefits, I took on this fast as a challenge to further explore my physical and mental limits and to free myself from any immediate dependencies on 2 of my favorite things in life. This is not my words, this is Andrew's words. That is food and coffee, which I still handle with care as part of my weekly routine, provide me with great pleasure. I do not drink coffee. The only time I will possibly drink coffee is either in an Ethiopian restaurant or in Ethiopia or in the mountains of Jamaica. The last time I drank coffee in the mountains of Jamaica, the brother who owned the cottage, the cabin that we were staying at, grew his own coffee brand, and I drank that coffee. I think I may have even had a cup and a half of it. A cup and a half of coffee to me is a wiring, but we were just getting ready to embark that morning on a climb up the tallest mountain in the Caribbean, Jamaica's Blue Mountain. And that is a 9-hour hike. So yes, I did drink Jamaican Blue Mountain grown coffee, and it was awesome. I didn't put anything in it. Just give me the coffee. It's an herb. Just give me that herb. And it was awesome. It really was. And Ethiopian coffee, it's pretty awesome. I got to say, coffee smells absolutely wonderful. It does. The taste is, it's not necessarily a fantastic taste, but the Jamaican coffee, especially the way they brew it, it's thick and potent. It's just really awesome. So I don't drink it all the time when I go out to Jamaican restaurants. In fact, I only drank it, I think maybe once I can think of in the last 80 years or so in a restaurant in the United States. But I did go to Jamaica in May 2017. And while there, invited to a family's home, they served us coffee, Jamaican coffee, freshly ground or freshly roasted and ground coffee beans. And that was one of the most wonderful experiences of drinking coffee I ever had in my life. So, what can drinking coffee every day do for me after experiences like Jamaica, Blue Mountain, and Ethiopia? Come on, think about it. Coffee can't do much for me but develop a dependency on caffeine. So he says he loves his coffee. Moreover, to kill as many birds as possible with one stone, I also chose to schedule my fast for the Holy Week as an exercise in spiritual rekindling. And that's a beautiful thing. This is a holy week right now, and I am on my water fast. So, building up for the 4-day water fast. For context, until a month ago, my longest fast was around 16 hours. That's intermittent fasting. I do that every day, which I had only tried a couple of times, mostly by chance rather than deliberately. Therefore, the idea of doing a 96-hour water fast or 96-hour fast was initially scary, to say the least. After digging deeper into the logic and speaking to a few people whom I know fast on a regular basis, I decided to start building up for it over 3 weeks. In the process, I first extended my longest fast to 24 hours 2 weeks prior to the 96-hour fast. That's a 24-hour fast. We just described that in the PowerPoint. And then the following week to 38 hours. During these trial fasts, I still performed my gym workouts good, with no noticeable changes in strength. Note, as counterproductive as it may seem at face value, it is the act of continuing to lift weights that minimize the risk of muscle loss during a fast. Excellent point you make. I feel that I fared pretty well through these trial fasts, which helped me build confidence in preparation for the 4-day fast. The only issue I experienced during the 38-hour fast was a mild headache that kicked in during the first afternoon and stretched to the evening before gradually subsiding by the next morning. I associated that headache with coffee withdrawals rather than the lack of food itself. Coffee withdrawals. He said he loved his coffee, but little did he know he had become addicted to the narcotic effect of caffeine. In the days leading to my fast, I deliberately informed more people about my challenge, essentially forcing myself beyond a point of no return. I felt that by doing so, I was elevating, and here, bear with me. Let me just move this over here so you can see my beautiful face. That I was elevating, bear with me, I was elevating the level of accountability, not only to myself, but also to the people I told. I tend to use this technique in whichever challenge I set myself against, as I find it boosts willpower and increases my odds of success. Now he talks about the actual 4-day fast. I started my 4-day fast on Monday night at midnight and finished it on Friday night at midnight. In the process, I tried to keep the same routine that I usually follow. During days 1, 2, and 3, I kept my mind busy with work, sitting most of the day at my laptop. Day 4 was a day off from work, given that it was Good Friday. When the usual lunchtime arrived, I still left my laptop, but instead of going to the kitchen, I went out for short walks. Good, smart routine. I performed my usual gym workouts in the evenings of days 1, 2, and day 3. On day 4, I rested from the gym, but walked 10,000 steps. I drank 4 liters of water filtered through reverse osmosis a day, including the water during my workouts, and had a teaspoon of pink salt a day, split between half a teaspoon with a glass in the morning and another half with a glass an hour before my workout. This is the water I drink on a daily basis. I also kept taking 250 milligrams of magnesium at bedtime. Now, this is not a strict water fast. Once you're doing supplementing, because I have not been doing supplementing during mine, but I'm not faulting him. He's on program. He's making smart moves here. So he said, I also taking 250 milligrams of magnesium at bedtime. Both sodium and magnesium are essential nutrients, electrolytes, meaning your body can't make them on its own. They help maintain fluid balance, maintain a normal heartbeat, regulate nerve and muscle function, and fight dizziness, headaches, and fatigue, all of which are key body functions that may become particularly challenged during a water-only fast. I also chose not to drink any teas, coffees, or flavored water, as I wanted to go with an all-in attitude, and also to avoid any ill side effects that these might have on the key benefits of mentioned above. I had my usual bowel movement on the day 1, but nothing on day 2, 3, and 4. I had bowel movements in days 1 and 2, and then they stopped. I didn't feel constipated throughout. Bowel movement returned the day after I broke my fast. On day 1, my morning weight was 73 kilograms. On day 2, it was 72.2. Day 3, 71.7. And day 4, 71.3 kilograms. Day 5, the morning of, 70.8 kilograms. The drop after day 1 of fasting was 0.9 kilograms, whereas on the following days I dropped an average of 0.5 kilograms per day for a total of 2.3 kilograms. And that's pretty good. 2.3 kilograms, 23 times 22 adds to, I don't feel like doing any math right now, but that would be a weight of 6.6 plus 0.3 kilograms would be about a total of about 7 pounds. Prior to the fast, I was actually concerned about the weight drop and muscle loss. However, in the end, it wasn't bad at all. Clearly, the first day saw a bigger drop in body weight than the following days, given the emptying of the gut from the prior day's food and the related reduction in water from the body. Another concern I had another concern I had prior to the fast was how it would affect my sleep. However, the irony was that during the 4 days, I figured that bedtime was actually something I was looking forward to, as it allowed for a quicker passage of time. Sleep quality was generally good, and my resting heart rate was steady throughout at an average of 41. That's pretty doggone good. The following is a recap of how I felt through the 4 days. Day 1, started feeling pretty hungry in the afternoon, which continued through the evening. The fact that I could only eat again in 3 days didn't help. Every time I thought of food, I tried to shift my thoughts to something else. I also felt pretty sleepy late afternoon, so I ended up taking a nap before the gym, something which I never usually do. I also felt rather cold during the day. On a positive note, I didn't experience any headaches. Day 2, started experiencing brain fog and fatigue in the morning, which lasted until late afternoon. Early evening, I started to feel alert again. Didn't get the same urge to nap as the previous day. I continued feeling cold during the day. No headaches on day 2 either. I had to choose between food. If I had to choose between food and coffee, I was definitely missing food more than coffee. Day 3. This day was interesting. Brain fog and fatigue experienced during day 2 were gone. Rather, I felt pretty energetic and productive all day long. This is consistent with what Chris Hemsworth experienced in terms of timing, and likely indicates that in absence of glucose from food, my body started using ketones by burning body fat for energy. Ketones are known to sharpen mental focus and heighten senses and perception, which pretty much chimes with the way I was feeling during this day. Another interesting observation is that I did not feel hungry during day 3. Day 4. It goes without saying that I woke up particularly excited about having managed to pull through that far in the fast. Given it was the last day, my discipline threshold was particularly high, which came in handy when I was surrounded by people enjoying traditional Easter delicacies as I was going about my Good Friday rituals. while I continued to feel cold, which was more annoying, which was more, what was more annoying was that my mouth felt constantly dry, even if I was drinking regularly. This is a common side effect of fasting. When the body isn't taking any food in, it stops producing saliva. Interestingly, saliva actually helps to clean the mouth of bacteria, which is why the body produces it when eating. On a good note, I didn't feel hungry during the last day except for the last hour when I literally started counting the minutes to my first food after 96 hours. And that about the dryness of the mouth, I do agree. You've been drinking water, but there's no food coming in, so the saliva is just not there. Mm. Which can also facilitate bacteria growth on the tongue. Again, the saliva, the acidity of the saliva, or the alkalinity of the saliva suppresses bacterial growth on the tongue. And so going forward, and there's a picture of our hero whose story I'm telling. Andrew is his name. And let me just show you his picture real quick, because Andrew just looks, he's an awesome looking guy. He's really healthy looking, young looking guy. He looks like he might be of Western Asian ethnic identity. But yeah, that's Andrew, whose story we have been telling. And there he is with a nice looking little vegan feast, his soup and his vegetables. I don't know if that's eggs on the plate. I don't consume eggs. Let me see if I can blow this up just a little bit. You can see his plate. It looks like it might be eggs on the plate. I don't mess around. With enough respect, I see mushrooms, avocados, tomatoes. He's got some bread there. I don't eat bread, even though some people do eat bread. I just don't. Bread causes inflammation in me, so I just don't mess with it. So that's his story. Let me take this down off the desk. And completing the 4-day fast and the days after. My first meal at midnight had to be light to avoid shocking and hurting my stomach. I took in mushroom soup, scrambled eggs with 3 spelt cakes, mushroom, tomato, and avocado for a total of 340 calories. And after some time, I went to sleep. Now, this is at midnight. Under no circumstances do I recommend, unless this is an unusual circumstance like this, I just generally do not recommend eating after 8 p.m. Let your body have the space to relax during sleep. It gives you much more advantage during your sleep cycle. But again, as he said, he started his fast at midnight, and he would look forward to ending the fast exactly at 96 hours at midnight. And he does share here this. So here's what I looked like that morning after at 78.8 kilograms. So yeah, here is Andrew's picture, and he's a young guy, but let me tell you, this picture, he is ripped. There you go. This is what Andrew looks like at the end of his first 4-day water fast. And as a young guy, he looks like he's probably in his early 30s at the latest. His body looks like he's 24 years old. I can just tell by his receding hairline that he is a little bit older than that. But the guy looks fantastic. Congratulations, Andrew. You did a good job with this one. And thanks for reporting this as well. Continuing his story, and I'm just going to take this off the screen so I can read the rest of the story. I can definitely say that the 4-day water fast has helped me achieve. Here, 1 second. Let me just save his image, and I'm going to share that with the class. This is in website 50-day protocol, and let me save this as a JPG. Good. I can definitely say that the 4-day water fast has helped me achieve quite a decent level of shred, which was a function of both fat burning and drop in water retention. I repeated the previous light meal the next morning, this time with more spelt cakes to gradually start refilling my glycogen stores from carbs. I did not experience any stomach issues in the process. That afternoon, I also happened to have a photo shoot. Timing was a mere coincidence and not related to the fact that I did a fast, so I kept carbing up until the shoot. This is the shape I was in after the podcast, 13 hours after completing the fast. And he has another photograph here. Even more impressive. This is him at the gym. I'm going to share this. Hey, listen, man, get your boast on, get your brag on. You earned it. And I do tell people when you're going through these processes, if you feel like bragging and boasting about how your body looks and feels, go ahead. You earned it. Most certainly he did. He looks pretty good. I would definitely say there he is in the gym. And a young man, and he is ripped. He's shredded, no doubt. And here's what he has continued to say. I was very happy with how I looked and how I felt after 4 days without food, given the concern I mentioned earlier with respect to muscle loss. In the end, I neither lost muscle nor strength. In the days following my fast, I gradually roped back into my usual eating form routine while enjoying a combined feeling of happiness, accomplishment, gratitude, and focus. At the time of this writing, as a full 4 days after the fast, morning weight has only partially recovered to 71.6 kilograms. I will continue increasing calories until I reach 73 kilograms again, the weight I've had prior to the 4-day fast. Conclusion, I'd like to say this was ultimately definitely a worthy experience that I would recommend to anyone unless you suffer from medical conditions such as being insulin dependent, hypoglycemic, or going through menstruation. Apart from managing to live up to the promise I made to myself and to my friends and followers, and further sharpening the limits of my discipline, it feels quite good to know that both my body and mind are capable to function well while withstanding the absence of food and coffee for 4 days. Going forward, I plan to implement 16-hour fasts a couple times a month. Now, I'm doing 16-hour intermittent fasting every day for 56 days in a row, minimum of 56 days. I may never stop during the 16-hour intermittent fast. And he says, and a longer 4-day fast, either once a year or once every 2 years. Now, insofar as me, I do 3 to 5 to up to 10 days of water fasting 4 times every year. Been doing that for 20 years now. Now, I'm not ripped like the young man who's probably definitely young enough to be my son. And I think any man would be proud to have a son who takes care of himself like that. But so that's Andrew's story. And I did put up a link to mirrorfriendly.com where you can see Andrew's story. Let me put that link here up on YouTube as well. So those of you viewing us on YouTube can see it as well. And to those of you who are on YouNow, you can always go to my website, and that is, here, I'll type up my website so you can see me on Facebook and get access to all of the files that we share on a daily basis here with our YouTube family. And on that note, I want to say greetings to you, hot boy 2222222. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And this was a good story. I hope you did enjoy it. I'm going to copy, cut, and paste this story as well to my WhatsApp group, which in the WhatsApp group we are doing, that's where we are engaging right now, the 56-day stem cell protocol. So where is that one? Here we go, WhatsApp. I'll post this one, and I hope you do enjoy his story. And on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. And I do hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. I will be working. I have a tendency to work right through holy days. Yet at the same time, we do acknowledge the rituals of the season because these give us traditions that build our cultural integrity. It's all about culture. Culture is your spirituality in expression, aka religion. Culture is your language. What is your name? Culture are the traditions that you commemorate and celebrate to reinforce culture. Culture is your perspective of history. Culture is your values and morals. Costume, culture is your way of thinking, your logic and reasoning system. So culture is everything. And so here on LIB Radio, we commemorate, we celebrate culture as we celebrate our essential humanity. On that note, there was a bunch of other articles that I pulled for today, but I think we've gotten through pretty much everything we need to get through. Any comments have come in for African One. I swish with coconut oil when my mouth gets dry during my fast. That's a good idea. Of course, coconut oil in cold weather is a solid, but once it gets inside your mouth, it's going to turn into a liquid. Coconut oil is a saturated fat. Most of the time, saturated fats are not good for you, but coconut oil goes just the opposite direction. Coconut oil is a wonderful saturated fat. Most of the time, you're going to want to consume mono unsaturated fats, such as olive oil is good, flax oil is better, hemp seed oil is better, black seed oil might be the best. And there are different other types of oils. There's walnut oil, safflower oil, all these different oils, but no consumption of what is called vegetable oil, because that's just a mix of anything. No consumption of non-organic canola oil, and no consumption of soybean oil, no consumption of corn oil. Those are on the taboo list, but the others are on the can do list. Will do, encourage you to do. So I'm continuing this evening from 9 p.m. We'll complete my 4th day of water fasting. And I definitely will continue it at least until tomorrow morning with my morning weigh-in, which I expect based upon the fall that's been going down so far. Let me just calculate some numbers here real quick, because I do this scientifically and the numbers do matter. And so I began my fast at 151.1. Now this morning I weighed in at 144.8. So that is 6.3 pounds down after the first 3 days. So I'm going to divide that 6.3 by 3 times 4, and that gets me tomorrow morning should be a total of 8.4 pounds, which 151.1 minus 8.4 equals, I should weigh in about 142.7. So what I will do is I'm going to continue this fast, because even then that'll be at from 9 p.m. But then I would normally break the fast with herbal tea around 8 or 9 in the morning. This time I will have my herbal tea, but then I'm going to also start my colon detox routine. And that's pretty serious. That will cause a little bit of additional weight loss. So by tomorrow morning, I expect to weigh right around exactly 143 pounds from today's 144.8. That's maybe a little bit large, but no, I think I'll make that. But once I get down to 143 pounds, I'll be switching over then to the colon cleansing. So Inguva is in the house. Can juice be used? Is coconut oil healthy as compared to olive oil? Coconut oil is very healthy compared to olive oil. I would say because coconut oil is a saturated fat and olive oil is a mono unsaturated fat. Now, what's the difference? Saturated fats get solid at room temperature, especially in cooler weather, while mono unsaturated fats stay liquid no matter unless it gets really, really, really cold. So comparing them, can juice be used? Yes, you can do a juice fast. I didn't put this in the PowerPoint. Maybe I should add this one to the PowerPoint as one of the fasting alternatives. There are different fasts that people can do. We have been talking today all about water fasting, 4-day water fast in particular, but you can do a juice fast, and there are different types of juices you can use. If you're going to be doing a juice fast, I highly recommend doing your juices fresh. You can do fresh blends, such as the Kale Power Blend that I have in my book, Living Superfood Recipes, Volume 1, that consists of kale, cucumber, green apple, lemon, carrots, and celery. That's that juice. Or you can use something like celery juice or carrot juice. You can do carrot, apple, lemon, ginger juice. Juice fasts are actually wonderful, especially if someone has never done a fast before and if you have to work a regular routine or heavy schedule and you don't want to hiccup with an energy pattern disruption, which is what definitely happens during a water fast, then a juice fast is a good way to begin. For some people, they even have a hard time doing that, or it may be inconvenient for them to produce juices. So I recommend a fruitarian fast. A fruitarian fast is wonderful. It will help you to reset your gut microbiome. It will help you to detox on a cellular level. It's not the fastest, but it is effective, no doubt. A fruitarian fast is awesome. A vegetable juice fast is even better. Water detox fast is the fastest known mechanism of healing the body. So yes, juice can be used. If you're going to do a water fast, it's not a juice fast. They are incompatible. With me, a water fast does not even include tea, herbal teas. I can include them after the initial part of the fast, but the herbal teas actually are not considered to be water only fast. That makes sense, right? So on that note, it's been a good day here on LIB Radio. I didn't even have to use my AK, as an ice tube would say. I want to thank you all for tuning in to your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio, LIBD, and livinginblack.com. Hey, listen, spread the word. Did everybody already who's listening, did you already hit the like button on your viewing browser and let the algorithms know that you appreciate being in this family? We encourage you to do so. We are still continuing our fund drive, and I would be remiss if I didn't remind you, because most of you listening have not contributed to supporting LIB Radio, either during the fund drive or some of you have never contributed. All I can say is we can do better than that. So right now, I'll put up a link here in case anybody has any guilt pains. I'm not trying to guilt trip you, but I am trying to encourage us. We got to step up our game. We got to significantly step up our game, because all over the world, consciousness is being trounced. It's being trumped. And right now, the battle's about to get even more bitter. I can promise you the battle is about to get even more bitter. Some people are still mourning and lamenting over the loss of their Democratic Party candidate, who, you notice, she's just disappeared. That's not much of a show of leadership, people. Someone's mad and they just disappear because they didn't win the election. So you and I, we have the opportunity to be change agents. And I encourage everybody to be a change agent. Do make little changes so that the bigger changes just become natural, just become absolutely natural for us as individuals. One of the changes you can make is go to the front page of libradio.com. On that front page, if you scroll down to the bottom of the front page, you will see a link, two links. One that says become a subscriber, where you can designate a small amount every month to be designated to support LIB Radio. You can give a little, you can give a lot. Also, down at the front page, you can see a one-time link to be able to contribute to LIB Radio. Be a strong supporter. Let's grow together, build together. Let's imagine unlimited possibilities together, together, together. There's nothing that we cannot accomplish if we collaborate, cooperate. It could be 2 of us, 4 of us. It could be 400. It could be 1,000, 10,000 of us. We can make our mark on the world, on our generation. I'm very proud of the fact, and I had this conversation with one of my beloved long-term sisters. We had a beautiful conversation catching up yesterday, and we both congratulated each other that we made such a difference in the world. And both of us are very young. If you were to see her, you would say, well, she looks like a mature woman, but also looking at her scan, look at the integrity of her eyes and her countenance and her energy level, she looks like she's not even 40 years of age. And she reminded me that she and I are both the same age. I'm 69, in my 70th year now. And it feels fantastic. It feels wonderful. I feel energetic. My push-ups have been consistent. Yesterday, my push-up routine, the first one was 250. The second one was 250. 2 sets, 500. The day before that, I did 275 in the first set and 225 in the second set. The day before that, I did 200 plus 225 plus 75 to make 500. For the last 7 days, I have done, as of yesterday, not today, 500, 500, that's 1,000, 500, 1,500, 400, that's 1,900, 500, and then 300 and 200, which would put the total at 2,900 push-ups that I've done in the last 7 days, as of yesterday. 2,900 push-ups by a 69-year young man in 7 days. Oh, and that's gone down quite a bit, because it used to be like up to 7,000 push-ups in 7 days. Yeah, that's doing 1,000 a day. I was doing that. The highest I've ever done in one day, I believe, was 1,800. I'm thinking. I've had to go back and check my notes. But doing 1,200 in a day, for me about a year and a half ago, that was routine. I stopped doing it at that level because I started noticing lingering pain in my upper shoulders and neck area. And quite simply, lingering pain changed something. So I cut back to just 500 every day. The body is an amazing machine. And you are an amazing person. Let's collaborate. Let's cooperate. If anyone out there listening, you or someone you know is dealing with a chronic disease, dealing with something that they have to take prescribed medicine for, and they don't want to live like that, come on to this side of the force. Come on to this side of health and wellness and longevity routines. Support LIB Radio. Support this fund drive as we take on the tasks, the critical tasks of building for eternity. Quite simply, we have to do better than what we have been doing before. Last point I'll make, I do have a new book out. The new book, here, I'm going to show you the screen. Let me show you the book. The new book is called Living superfood solutions, dietary strategies that prevent or reverse common chronic diseases. Why not put these living superfood solutions into effect in your life? It will be a good thing. We highly encourage you to do the best you can with what the Creator has put in your hands. We are truly, truly, truly an amazing people, and amazing people do amazing things. So, living superfood solutions, dietary strategies that prevent and reverse common chronic diseases. We know what to do. We know how long it should take for the body's healing processes to kick in. It's much more rapid than what you might imagine, especially when you've moved to the level of cellular regeneration. And that's where we are at now with our research, cellular regeneration. And you learned about it on your favorite. We aim to be your favorite. We are LIB Radio. We are LIB TV. We are livinginblack.com. Peace and prosperity to each and every one.